I am in the mood for casseroles, so let's get to it. I'm going to start off with this enchilada casserole. My whole family loves this casserole, and I'm using a pound of ground chicken. You can use beef or turkey, a packet of taco seasoning, taco blend cheese, you could use cheddar or whatever you like, red enchilada sauce, jalapeno ranch style beans, you can also use black or pinto beans, a can of diced or crushed tomatoes, corn tortillas, a bell pepper and half an onion, a jalapeno, sour cream, cilantro, and green onions for topping. Okay, I chopped up the bell pepper and onion and put a little olive oil in my pan. I'm going to cook this with the ground meat. In my case, I chose chicken. Just cook it until it's cooked all the way through. And I hope you like this casserole. It really is one of my favorites, and the leftovers taste just as good. Once the meat is done, be sure to drain any fat, and I'm going to add some crushed cherry tomatoes blended with a jalapeno instead of a can of crushed tomatoes. Normally I would just use a can of crushed or diced tomatoes, but I don't want my garden veggies going to waste, so I'm just substituting. And I like spicy food, so I added the jalapeno, just wanted to use it up. And also I'm adding a can of jalapeno ranch style beans, and I just really enjoy the flavor they add, but a can of black beans or pinto beans is delicious too. And if you're not a fan of beans, try using corn instead. That would be really good. And a can of enchilada sauce and a packet of taco seasoning, and mix it all up. I'm just adding a couple of spoonfuls of the mixture into the dish and then topping it with corn tortillas, and you can really use however many tortillas you like. Typically you'd probably use about 12 for a casserole this size, but I absolutely love corn tortillas, so I'm going all in with 18. And I do 3 layers of tortillas, which does make it a little on the drier side. Well, not like dry, but the tortillas soak up some of the sauce. And if you use corn instead of beans, I'd probably go with less tortillas. And that's it. It's all ready for the oven, 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Fresh out of the oven, this smells amazing, and I like to sprinkle it with some green onions, and if I had some black olives, I would do that too. So I made a pico to put on top, and I used cherry tomatoes, cilantro, and onion with a little squeeze of lime. And the fresh topping with the warm casserole is really good. I'm gonna put some sour cream on top, and you could put some hot sauce as well. And this is so tasty and so easy. Be sure to try this one. Next, I'm gonna make a supreme pizza pasta casserole, and this one is also really delicious. For this recipe, I'm gonna use some rotini, Italian sausage, pepperoni and onion, green bell pepper, mushrooms, garlic, marinara sauce, Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, some black olives. Let's get started. So I just cut up an onion and bell pepper, and now I'm cutting some pepperonis in half just to add more work because you just can't have it too easy. In a pan with a little olive oil, I'm cooking up about 3/4 of a pound of Italian sausage. I usually use a full pound, but I wanted to save some for an upcoming recipe, you know, just trying to cut costs when I can. Just gonna go ahead and get it browned. And while I was prepping the veggies, I started a pot of water and it's boiling, so in goes the rotini. Okay, so while the rotini is cooking, I got the sausage browned up and drained the fat, and I'm going to add a bell pepper and onion, and if you're using fresh mushrooms, go ahead and add those in now. And now that those have softened up a little, I'm adding some crushed garlic, give it a quick stir, and add a jar of marinara sauce, sprinkle a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, some salt and pepper, mix all that up, toss in the cooked and drained noodles. I'm adding a can of drained mushrooms and about half a cup of pepperonis. Throw in a cup of mozzarella, and really you could just eat it like this. I sprayed this dish with nonstick spray. Dump all this yummy mixture in. Add some more cheese on top. Some more pepperoni on top. And just on this one side, I'm putting some black olives. I would have added them in, but I'm the only one in my house who likes olives. And this will go in the oven at 375 for about 20-25 minutes. While the pizza casserole is in the oven, I chopped up a cucumber, and I'm just making a simple vinaigrette for it. And I'll use a 1/4 cup of olive oil, a tablespoon of red wine vinegar, a squeeze of honey, lemon juice of half a lemon, a teaspoon of Dijon, half a teaspoon of oregano that will really complement the casserole, I think, and a fresh clove of garlics. And since I've started making my own dressings, it really is difficult to go back to bottled brands. This casserole is done and it smells like a fresh baked pizza, and I've got the dressing for the cucumbers. I'm just going to pour it over the cucumbers and this will be so good. So this pizza casserole has all the best flavors of a slice of pizza, but in a warm, cheesy, comforting bake. You get the melty mozzarella, the savory pepperoni, and all those Italian seasonings in every bite. It's just super cozy, super easy, and seriously delicious. The next casserole is a loaded tater tot soup casserole, and no, it's not soupy at all. It just has the flavor of loaded potato soup that I love and crave when the weather is cool. So I'm starting off with 6 slices of bacon. I'm going to crisp these up, and once they're done, I'll remove them from the pan and crumble them up. In the same pan, I'm draining some of the bacon grease. And then I'll add some diced onion into the same pan and let it soften up a little. While the onions are cooking, I'm going to take my dish and spray it with nonstick spray and put a layer of the hash browns down. I want to bake these at 375 for about 15 minutes just to let them get a little crispy before I pour the soupy mixture over them, just so they're not so soggy when they're done. The onions are ready, and I'll toss some crushed garlic cloves and give a quick stir. Throw in 3 tablespoons of butter and let it melt down. Once it's melted, add 3 tablespoons of flour and whisk it for a minute. And then we're going to slowly whisk in 2 cups of milk followed by a cup of chicken broth. And I'm going to keep whisking while this gets to a simmer. I can see that it's simmering and starting to thicken up, so let me add a half a cup of sour cream and half the crumbled bacon and 3/4 cups of shredded cheese. Go ahead and turn the heat off, and I'm going to add half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, some salt and pepper, and then I'll give it a taste and adjust it to however I like. I got the preheated tots out of the oven, and I'm gonna just sprinkle some green onions in rather than just on the very top. I just love the flavor that they give, so why not? Now I'll pour this soupy mixture on top and then the remaining tots. And then the rest of the bacon and another 3/4 cup of cheese. Okay, here it is, loaded potato soup in casserole form, and I had this baking for 35 minutes at 375 and it looks fabulous. And I'm gonna sprinkle some more green onion on top to make it pretty. A little dollop of sour cream, and tell me that this doesn't look like comfort. Crispy golden tots on top, creamy underneath. Make this on a chilly night and it will surely make you smile. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like, and I really appreciate it, and let me know which casserole is your favorite.